Hello, and welcome to the Jared Hurst Podcast. This podcast is about understanding ourselves, others, and the tools you can use in order to transform your life. This week, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about a concept that's been on my mind lately, and that is our ability to influence others as well as influence ourselves. So, in case you're not aware, there's a scientific study that shows that emotions can be contagious. You see, when you're out and about and you see somebody else smiling, whether you recognize it or not, on some level, your muscles in your face begin to emulate the muscles of the person that you see. And if you're around them long enough, you actually can begin to start feeling the same way as that individual. If somebody's anxious, you might start to find yourself feeling anxious. If they're happy, you might find yourself start to feel a little more excited and happy. It's not a guarantee, right? Obviously, we have our own emotions and we have our own state of mind, but we have the ability to influence other people based on the way that we are approaching the world and based on the energy and the emotions that we bring to others. So think about this. If you are in a situation, if seeing somebody else's facial expression can influence your facial expression, what happens when you wake up in the morning, you're excited about your day, you go brush your teeth, you look in the mirror, and you see yourself smiling back at you? What's that going to do? How is that going to influence you? Is it going to have any effect whatsoever? Well, if seeing somebody else's facial expressions has the ability to influence our mood and our facial expressions, then why not us influencing ourselves? Have you ever seen a situation where momentum kicks in? Think about it. Think about a sports team, and you see a situation where all of a sudden they're just hot. Things start clicking. They start making the shot. They start hitting the ball. Whatever it is, as things start going well, they continue to go well because their mood changes, the way that they approach things, their energy, everything starts to feed on itself, right? And same with the other direction. They start doing poorly and it just continues to feed on itself. So why wouldn't our emotions, if our facial expressions influence other people, why wouldn't our facial expressions influence ourselves? Why wouldn't we be able to get momentum into the emotion that we're already experiencing? You ever had it where you're upset and you find yourself getting more and more and more upset? Or you're happy and you find yourself escalating and getting more and more excited about the things that are going on in your life? Well, some of that is your own energy. Some of that is your own biochemistry. Because when we think a certain way and then we act a certain way, our body, it starts creating all the chemicals that support those thoughts and those actions, right? And that's how we end up creating an emotion. Tony Robbins, I love Tony Robbins. He's one of my favorite speakers. I could listen to him for hours. And he has something that he says that I love. And he says that we don't just think an emotion, we do an emotion. You have times in your life where somebody asks you a question and your first response is you change your body. I have had this in my life. I had a period in my life where whenever my boss would ask me how I was doing, it was always my cue to kind of let out any insecurities or frustrations or depression that I was experiencing. And as soon as they would ask me, I would look down and I would slouch my shoulders. And then I would start feeling that way almost instantly as soon as they would say something. It's like a Pavlov's dog's emotional reaction, right? It was a trained behavior. And I would do that every time they would ask me how I was doing. Well, you have that influence over yourself because you don't just think an emotion, you do an emotion. If I asked you to feel depressed right now or to describe depression, would your eyes be down or would they be up? They'd be down. Would your shoulders be back or would they be down? They'd be down. Would your breathing be deep or would it be shallow? It would be shallow. Your emotions, a lot of the times, mimic the things that we do. So, if you want to start feeling different, start acting differently. And as you do that, you get to create emotional momentum for yourself. Now, you also get to do that for other people. One of the beautiful things, the things that I love about life, is not only do we have influence over ourselves, but we have influence over others. The way that you act, the way that you approach everybody else in life, you have a significant impact on the lives of those around you. I want to tell you a story. I go to the gym at the same location pretty much every single day. And there's a man there that I absolutely love. As soon as I started going there, he started calling me by my name every single day. I would walk through the door and he'd say, "Hello, Jared." And he would always have this excitement and this enthusiasm about seeing me. And you know what ended up happening? I loved it so much, I wanted to do that for other people. So everybody else that I met there, when I would go to the gym, I started learning their names. And I started giving excitement and enthusiasm to them whenever I would see them. And now they greet me with excitement and enthusiasm. And I have a great big group of individuals that I know by name, have wonderful, beautiful conversations with, and really have this meaningful connection with. Now, have you ever had that in your life? Have you ever had where you're having just an awful day and somebody gives you a smile as you walk through the store, or somebody talks to you, or whatever, and then all of a sudden you find that you start feeling a little bit better? Well, you have that influence on everybody else around you when you choose to greet people, when you choose to give somebody a smile, when you choose to say hello. You make a difference. There are so many things in this world where we want to make a difference and it feels like there's nothing we can do. Is it really going to make that big of a difference if I recycle? I'm one person out of whatever. And I'm not saying don't recycle. Like, by all means, go ahead, because it takes one person making a decision to do something and then somebody else making a decision to do something. And that's how you make realistic change, is when enough people make the decision to make a difference. But when it comes to this, you can see the impact that you make in the world. You can see the difference that you're making. It's not one of these things that feels disassociated, where all of a sudden you do one thing and you hope that it's making a difference, but you're not really sure. You can truly see the difference that you have in the world based on the energy and the enthusiasm and the love and the kindness and the compassion that you choose to bring into the world. Do it for others, do it for yourself. You can make a difference and you can have an impact. Your life is going to be better. Even if the people around you don't always reciprocate, sometimes they will. And it's going to make your life better. And even if they don't, even if they never reciprocate, your life's going to be better because your mind recognizes the way that you're approaching the world. Your mind recognizes the way that you treat other people. And that has influence about how you view yourself as an individual and how you treat yourself as an individual. But the thing is, when you continue to go out and you continue to put that kind of energy and love and gratitude and kindness into the world, you will see an impact. You know, this individual that I was telling you about, this wonderful human being that greeted me and knew my name and bothered to figure out about my life, he's been going through something hard lately. I don't know all the details. I haven't pushed because it's not my place. I figured if he wants to share, he can. But the thing is I could tell something was off in his life. And so I have made it my mission to try and understand what's going on and give him as much emotional support as I can. And that's true for you. As you make the world a better place, you're not doing it so that you can benefit. But the truth is, you will benefit. You will find that there's people that look at you and say, you know what? I want to give to them in the same way they've been giving to me. I want to support them because I see that they're having a hard time in life. So it makes you more resilient. It brings you more joy. It brings you a sense of pride and fulfillment. Why not put that energy out there? And like I said, if nothing else, you're influencing your own emotional energy. You're influencing the momentum of the emotion that you build in your life. I believe in you. I know you can do it. And until next week, remember that you are not alone.